Hi, Dex here. So for the past month, I've been doing science, and basically, whenever you go on the forums and like for DBD for like Reddit or, oh god, you know, the Steam forums or whoever, whichever, people complain about Noed because it gives killers free kills at the end of the game, and everyone will reply, just do the bones, which is the totems. So, challenge! I rank resetted myself down to, well, I didn't do it myself. I let the game rank reset me down to rank 13, and I was going to dedicate an entire build for 100 games and just prioritize getting rid of all the totems. And figure out, is it worth it? And we're going to see the results here. For the build I decided to use, it is a complete totem hunting build. We're using Counterforce, Detective's Hunch, and Small Game. I also ran Inner Strength just so I can just make it a full 4 totem build, because, you know, I need to be somewhat helpful. And healing yourself quickly, since I cleansed all the totems, that was going to be as helpful as I could be. Counterforce, every time you cleanse a totem, you can see the totem on the other side of the map for like a second. I'll put up the description so you'll see the exact time. So you'll see where the next totem is, so you can run across the map, cleanse that totem, run across the map, cleanse that totem, and back and forth. Seemed kinda interesting. Did not use it that often, honestly. Like, it was kinda helpful, but for the most part, the next one, Detective's Hunch, that was the way better totem hunting one. Detective's Hunch, every time you finish a gen, you can see totems, gens, and chests within a very large radius, which is basically almost the entire map for most maps. That one was the most helpful. Especially, too, let you see the gens, because I normally run Detective's Hunch when I'm not doing this build, and it's super helpful. So, you know, like, hey, my teammates are about to 3-gen us, let me go do this gen on this left side, so the right side, you know, so you don't get 3-gen'd and lose the game. And for the final perk was Small Game. Small Game, it makes a little pinging sound when you're in the general area, so you know kinda where it is, and the more totems you cleanse, the smaller that radius it gets, so you know kind of generally where that totem is better. Wasn't that helpful. What it was helpful for, though, was if say on the rare occurrence that a teammate actually cleansed the totem, I would know that and I could keep track of it and put it into my data sheets. So helpful in that aspect. What I didn't do, I didn't carry a map because I felt like maps you can't carry a map every single game. I'd run out of maps very fast. And I'd run out of whiteboards, and then I'd have no maps or whiteboards, and yeah. I want things that, you know, you could permanently leave on and you can see. So, what did I find out? Aside from the fact that I absolutely hate solo queue. Please end me. So, 5 totems per game, 100 games, which again, I know isn't the highest sample size. 1,000 would probably be the better one. But I was kind of going insane by game 100. So, someone else wants to do 1,000 games. Or even just carry off of my list here and do 900 more. Feel free to. Go right ahead. So what's the thing? Oh, right. Out of 500 totems, I cleansed 318 totems. My teammates cleansed 76. Mind you, there's 3 other teammates and it's just me. But I did have, you know, totem difference. I knew generally where the totems were. Which left 106 totems uncleansed. Which, not too bad, honestly. What I did find out, I basically am learning where all the totems are in every map after this. Like, RPD map, check a desk. They're almost all under desks. Pretty much. Almost all of them, yeah. How many games out of 100 had Noed? 21. Yeah, so a lot less than I thought it was going to be. Because, honestly, because I played on rank reset day, and both rank reset days, the first and the second 13th of my challenge. Yeah. Those are kind of the worst days. I feel like I thought killers would have, what do you call it? Noed more on rank reset days, so they would get back up to their levels. Of only 3. Just 3 times. So, not too bad, honestly. On this graph here, I have all the killers I ran into, as well as how many times they had Noed, and what I learned. Oh, and as well as the ranks, which we'll get into because MMR did hit while I was doing this challenge, and I didn't want to wait for it to be done because I really want to, like, get this video done. But yeah, so, in obvious things that people generally know about, of the 6 pigs I encountered, 3 of them had Noed, so 50%. Really, that's how I generally play, even before this challenge. Like, see a pig, you're like, yeah, it's gonna be Noed, unfortunately. Surprisingly, so Nemesis, as of time of recording this, if someone's watching it later, Nemesis, who is the newest killer, and I ran to him, I believe, the most encounters with 10. Yeah, 10 encounters with Nemesis. Only 3 had Noed. So that was kind of interesting. Trickster got buffed recently, so a lot of people were playing Trickster or more, and he was the second most recently released killer. 3 out of 7, so 43%-ish. Kind of expected that. The one I didn't expect really was Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head, who I had 6 encounters. 3 of them had Noed, so 50%. I didn't realize that Pyramid Heads were like Noed users, which is weird. Expected ones were Hag, 2 out of 4, which again, not the largest sample size, but kind of expect Noed on Hag. Myers, 2 out of 5, Blight, 1 out of 5, Spirit, only 1 out of 6, so kind of nice. Huntress, 1 out of 9, which kind of expected there. Nurse, I feel like can't really put, because I only ran to 2 nurses, and so 1 out of 2, 50%, but only 2, so that's not at all a good, not at all a great sample size for that. Clown, oh god. So Clown, it was 1 out of 5. There was a Clown challenge, so I figured more people were playing Clown that don't normally play Clown. And naturally, of course, that one Clown was a base camping a-hole. Yeah. Weirdly enough, the one that I was surprised the most of, I ran to 8 Wraiths. That's a fun word to say. And none of them had Noed, which is really, 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 really weird. Because, I don't know, maybe it's after his buff, but I remember a year and a half ago or so, I felt like Wraith was another one of those, oh, you see a Wraith? Oh, you see a Wraith Shimmer? Like, Cleanse Totems is going to be Noed. And also no Deathslingers. I ran to Twins more than I did Deathslinger. I'm not complaining too much. I'm not good against Deathslinger. But, yeah. So, ranks. Which ranks were most likely to have Noed? You would think it was going to be the lower ranks, because I got stuck in lower ranks for a bit. Yeah. Brown ranks are hell. Especially, I mean, it's in solo queue. Like, I'm pretty sure if I had my friends on, we could get out brown ranks quicker, but yeah, no. By yourself, you would just see your teammates not doing anything. Like, there's like one instance, I'm like, please, the last gen, it's 90% done. Someone get on it. And nope, they're hiding and looking for medkits. I'm like, please stop. So yeah, of the one rank red killer that I ran into, that one had Noed. It was a Hag too. It was a hell game. Rank 6 I had 1, rank 8 I had 1, rank 9 there was 1, rank 10 there was 4 Noeds, 11 2, 13 1, 14 2, 16 1, which is very strange. I was running into rank I believe 18 and 16, and that being said, the rank 18, it was that one like Hawkeye meme, and it was like, you shouldn't either. So it's like, I'm looping this killer, but this P3 full-on Wraith, and I was like, yeah, you're not rank 18, and probably looking at me like, you're not rank 13. Yeah, that was a game. So I guess MMR kind of, well, that was MMR. That was pre-rank whatever. Like, that was kind of working. So yeah, the most dangerous zone to be in that you have to worry about Noeds would kind of be that rank 8 through 11 kind of range, especially rank 10. So your green ranks, expect Noed, apparently. Other random facts of the games I went through, only 1 out of 100 games someone brought in a key. Like, there are a couple games a key was found, but only 1 game someone brought in one, so that was kind of interesting. Only 2 Moris, but Moris have been nerfed, so I understand. What affected my game way more than Noed's? 22 games out of 100 had at least 1 DC. 7 of those were killer, and killer is more likely to DC after all the gens were done and they were kind of doing badly. survivors at any point. At any point, a survivor would DC. Some insta down, some once the game started and there was a map or a killer I guess they didn't like. So the rules I made for myself, I had to still play optimally. I could not stop the whole game and just look for totems and not do anything. If there was a gen, I was going to do a gen. If there was someone on the hook, I would rescue them if it was the right thing to do. According to me, some of my survivors think like, oh, you left the person on the hook. I'm like, yeah, there's a pyramid head like right in front of them. What am I going to do? I don't have borrow time. Not that they could tell me that, and I had to relay this all with pointing, but you know. So yeah, I had to play optimally, but I still had to kind of prioritize getting all the totems done before Noed popped. And I believe only 2 games of 21 I was unable to actually clear Noed. One was against a mint shackle. No, not mint shackle. Rusty shackle. Mint. That one perg, that one hag add-on that lets her go like, you know, teleport without anyone tripping it. Yeah, that one. I could not get Noed from that hag. And one... I don't know what happened, but I just could not get it. I just couldn't get it. I think probably someone cleared a totem and I didn't have any totems with counterforce to go to like break and then go look for the last one. So only 2 games of the Noed games I wasn't able to clear Noed. The others were cleared, and I will admit, it's kind of like when you actually get Deliverance at like endgame to work. It's that kind of moment. You're like, yes, finally, this perk finally paid off. Not often enough to make it worth it, but you know, like it felt good at the time for like 2 to 4 games. So thoughts. A lot of times I did feel like I was wasting time trying to get totems rather than finishing up, rather than like pressuring the last gen and be like, oh no, there's like 1 gen left and 2 totems, and I'd be like, I have to do those totems before that last gen pops. And I really could have been pressuring the killer by, you know, teaming up with my teammates and like knocking out that last gen. So I did feel kind of useless at that point. There are also points where I'm like, I screwed over my teammates with inner strength. I was like, I had one person actually yell at me for that. They were like, oh my god, there was no totems. I couldn't do inner strength. I couldn't heal myself. I'm like, yeah, I could have healed you, but the teammates weren't that pleased with me. But I saved from Noed like twice with that, so you're welcome. And for that one who yelled at me, I see you. I know who you are. Yeah, but for the most part, I really feel like I could have been doing the gens. I could have been running a killer more. Like, I could have been doing something more productive than... Because again, only 21 games. Only 21 games had Noed. And you kind of could tell when they were coming. A lot of those games were like, oh man, that killer didn't hit anybody. Only like a few times where it was, wow, that killer like was murdering the hell out of us, and look at that, they had Noed on top of all of it. Yeah, in conclusion, kinda, basically. Like I said, I cannot wait to like never play this ever again. Yeah, so honestly, I would say just do the bones isn't really great advice. Just hope. Honestly, the best advice against Noed is when someone gets hit, they're dead, okay? Just forget about them. I'm sorry if they're your best friend or a bunny fang. Oh, I can't judge. I think one of the notes of this game is, I died for the bunny fang. Oh, final notes. What do I think about Noed at the end of all this? You know what they should do with Noed? End of the day, here are my final thoughts. Get rid of the speed boost off adrenaline and Noed, and voila, fixed. Yeah, those 2 perks, they don't need a speed boost on top of what they do. Adrenaline heals ya, cool. Noed, 1 shots. Sucks, but fine. Why are you fast? Alright guys, later.
All the choices you made, did you make them again, 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 again? All the lies that you told, did you believe?